What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Ray G, joined as always by my man Jay Rich, and I am joined by one of my best friends in this space, Scott Connor, the captain of the Destination Dynasty chair, Dynasty and Chill. Y'all know who he is, man. Scott Connor has been all over the Destination Devy feed. But tonight we are diving into our big board collective Destination Devy draft. This is probably like the 12th one, but the second one that we have done live here on YouTube, or at least posted on YouTube. And this one is actually live. So Jay, Rich, and Scott are actually going to build this team out. I'm going to be checking out the comments. Y'all talk to us. But as we start this thing out, Jay, you know, we did one last time. I think we started off, who do we start off with? CD Lamb. We got CD Lamb. We stacked him with Dak. You know, we're just kind of subjective to the draft slot, which we don't know where we're currently picking right now. But, you know, where do you want to go with this one? Jay Rich, how do you want to build this team out going into it, not knowing our draft spot?
I think I want to try and hammer receivers early. You know, we've done a lot where we've been hammering RBs early, trying to go kind of the robust RB strategy. What if we went for a little bit of a hero RB, you know, first round, depending on obviously what we're slotted in, try and get our staple running back, and then in subsequent rounds, try and hammer out that value, try and accumulate that warp pretty quickly with the wide receivers, and then ultimately figure out our stacks further down the line, depending on how we build these rosters.
Scott, what about you? I mean, it's an 8-man tournament, right? 8 teams, single quarterback, start 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, no tight end premium. Just 10,000-foot view, man. I know we'll dive into the nitty-gritty, but like when you see something like this that's so different than a lot of dynasty leagues that we play in, like initially, what are your initial thoughts on how to attack this type of draft?
Yeah, I mean, if it was a start 8 in pretty much any format, whether it's best ball, lineup, redraft, dynasty, whatever. I mean, I'm immediately going to where can I chase the warp? Where can I chase the positional advantage? Now, what does that mean within the constraints of, 18 rounds, best ball? There's no waivers. There's no changing anything after you draft the team. So how do you want to construct it? It's almost like everything you're buying at, let's just say it, quarterback and tight end, anything you're buying there, you're essentially changing that or exchanging that for something else later. You're buying an extra receiver, you're buying an extra running back, you're taking an extra shot at one of those positions, but you're losing it somewhere else. So I think it just depends on where we get our draft slot. We're going to do so many of these drafts. It's like we're going to have builds all over the place. We've had some great discussions in the Discord about using time to our advantage too. Like if you're going to do so many drafts over a period of time, you don't have to focus on doing something in this draft just because we have the 108 or the 102 or the 105.
Right.
We can let time take care of that. I think that's the benefit of having tons of entries is you don't have to force things, but you also just want to be cognizant of like where your build is going. And, we didn't even talk about what our build's going to be, but it could change once we get 2 or 3 rounds in. It could be like, man, we think it's going to be this. And then 3 rounds in, it's not going to be that just because of what's on.
Yeah, 100%, man. And we talk about a lot of this stuff inside our Discord. So if you've been wanting to get in and converse with myself and Jay Rich and Scott and the Destination Devy team, use the promo code WAKEUP. You get a 100% deposit match. And if you're a first-time depositor, you get access to the Discord for free for a year. So, Jay, can you fix the sheet? Like, I tried to filter it out. And
what were you trying to do?
Like, sort it by warp. And it, like, sorted all weird. So can you fix that before we get started? And we'll go ahead and let's see where we're picking at real quick. And Scott, you are going to be picking first for us. So we've got, we're waiting for 9, but it'll get filled quickly. So let's take a look at the sheet real quick. And where are we at? Let's go to the top of this board. What is it filtered by? I want to filter it by data ranks. Let's filter it by data ranks. Let's filter it by data ranks warp. Why is the warp like this, 0.14? What have you done to this sheet?
I changed it to warp per game because we were looking at players like Chase, right? So Chase is a player who only played 11 games. His warp was only, I believe, 0.74. So I've restructured. I mean, I changed a lot in here today, so you may see things a little bit different. But the big difference with the warp is now it's warp per game. So a player like Chase, who initially had a bit of a lower warp, is actually still a 0.07 warp. But again, it's to factor in things like missed time, how are these guys producing on a per game basis, things like that. How are they really making a difference for our rosters overall?
All right. Well, we've got 7 people left. Scott, what about you? You want to go heavy RB? Do you want to take BPA? Is wide receiver the way to tackle a format like this? What are your thoughts as we wait for 6 more people to get in before we get our slot?
Yeah, I mean, early on, I think that we're still far enough away from the season, and we still have a lot of chips that need to still fall in certain places at the running back position, especially. So it just feels right now, gut feeling kind of says if you are especially going to go quarterback early, if you're going to hit one of the high warp quarterbacks, the advantage is going to be probably going to have to go with potentially 3 quarterbacks. But then I'm starting to sit there and think, okay, can I get away with 2 and find the best bang for my buck? And if I have a team where I hit on the high warp quarterback, but I also can get away with building with 2 because I hit on, last year's Jared Goff that people didn't take inside the top 24 quarterbacks. Boom. He finished inside the top 15. Like I succeeded with what I wanted to do, and I didn't have to burn a third spot on a quarterback. And then running backs, like I'm fine with doing what Jay was talking about. But obviously, you have to be careful with how far down you go at the running back position because you see a lot of running backs get drafted. And
we're pick 12. We are 112, Scott.
So who are we starting with?
Back.
We are 112. And yeah, so I actually have this. I meant to take this out, but it's sorted by our data ranks. In here, I uploaded our ranks. So we're at the 112 spot. So I'm going to go over here to the to our sheet right here. You can see the current Underdog ADP. We will filter by that just so we can look at where players are going. So we're probably going to be in a range. I mean, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Garrett Wilson range. Like, that's where we're going to be. So, Scott, you've got the first pick in this. What would you want to do? Because that's probably what we're looking at.
So I was going to propose this. I didn't say it until I saw our spot. And I'll ask Jay. Jay, what do you think about I take 2, then you take 2, I take 2, you take 2? That way you have time to study the rest of the board while I'm picking, and then vice versa. And we don't have to talk back to back like right away. You know, you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that for sure.
Yeah, let's
get
do
the
that.
first turn.
And people in the chat, man, I'll get to y'all. Somebody asked what warp was. Wins over replacement player. We'll probably talk about that a little bit on this show. And Max said, will they be private drafts so we can draft with you guys? Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll actually do those live on the Wake Up Show. So, Scott, we're at the turn, man. Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson off of the board, 101, 102, pretty standard. Right here, look at Jimbo in here. Jimbo, man, shout out Jimbo. Jimbo's in the chat, and he actually jumped in this one. And he goes Jonathan Taylor at the 1-3 spot. Jamar Chase, 1-4. Scott, you think you got an idea of who you want to go with? Where we at, running back or wide receiver? You got to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I got to wait a little bit.
Oh, man. Who would I like to? How are we feeling about Bijan? I mean, we're seeing Bijan go first round, early second round in these drafts. And let's just say, I want to start off by saying anybody who does these right now, you're a freaking madman. I mean, you are insane for doing these type of drafts before the NFL draft, before schedules have come out. Like, we don't know anything. We're just fantasy football degenerates. But we got a sharp group over here, and you see some of the tools that we have. So I feel confident that we're making at least informed decisions here. So Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, this is the highest I've seen Jonathan Taylor go in a draft so far. Travis Kelce, Jay, pretty standard to see him come off in the middle. And I'll just be honest with y'all. I've done drafts where I take quarterback like in the second round, Josh Allen, Mahomes. I do not like the builds at all, taking a quarterback that high. Like at the end, you've missed out on receiver value. You've missed out on RB value. I just don't like it. Saquon, highest I've seen him go, 1-7. Highest I've seen him go. We're going to get a damn good player here at the turn. So, Scott, we got 2 picks until you're up, baby. Eckler, Adams, Bijan, all on the board. CeeDee Lamb still on the board. A lot of good players. There goes A.J. Brown. And here we go. Let's see what we get. And CeeDee Lamb is gone. All right, Scott, what are we doing here?
Man, I mean, it's definitely not quarterback because it's too, it's
No.
too early to do it. This isn't the spot to do it. I'm just going to throw Jay a bone here. And he mentioned go early receiver. So I'm guessing in his mind, he had a plan to get out of it. So let's hit Devontae Adams.
All right, we'll let that run down. We'll let that run down while you're thinking about your next pick. So we'll hammer Adams here. Catching passes from Garoppolo, which we probably can get a cheap stack later. But here we go. I mean, do you want some Eckler? Do you want to go Amon-Ra, Jalen Waddle? I mean, where are we at, Scott? Got 15 seconds.
I'm going to let's go Amon-Ra. I'm setting Jay up with receiver. I'm going to let him bail us out at running
Oh,
back.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Scott.
All right. So we
All
went
right.
receiver. Amon-Ra's got an ADP of right at 15.8. We took him at 13. Call it a little early, but we got a little value on Devontae Adams. And then immediately after that, we've got Garrett Wilson. So we're 21 picks away. Connor, I just want to ask you, why not Eckler? Why not Bijan Robinson, who we see their ADP right around where we picked? Why Amon-Ra over those guys?
Well, my thought is initially there a couple receivers went earlier than expected, so let's just keep pushing the board and see if it sucks more of them off than expected, and there's better options for Jay. But I receiver. I mean, I wish it would have been a couple other options to choose from. I guess you could have gone
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson over Amon-Ra, but it's a coin flip for me.
Okay. All right, let's go
Yep.
over to our chart. We got a couple of picks, so let's just talk about it in regards to the scoring matrix right here. So we're looking at wide receivers 1 through 4 in this league, scoring about 14% more than wide receivers 5 through 8. And then, that slot respective to wide receivers 9 through 12, 36% more production from those receivers. And we look at running back, 1 through 4, over 5 through 8, 19%, and then 39.3% with RBs 9 through 12. So, Jay, do you still want to? I mean, receivers are probably flying off of the board right now. We saw Bijan, Allen, and Mahomes have off the board. I'm telling y'all, I just don't like the builds when I'm taking a quarterback in the second round of these drafts. Like, there are just so many that you can get. And now that we have Adams and Amon-Ra, what we're going to do, guys, is let's just star to have them in queue. Jared Goff and who's the other quarterback? Who's the other damn quarterback for
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. And he's got an ADP of freaking 170. So we've got some time. So let's star those guys and start putting some stars around players we want. Jay, I'm going to take quarterback off the board right now because it feels like we're probably going to wait on QB in this one. Because I think we've got a good chance to get like Goff, Garoppolo, and probably get like a Will Levis in the 18th round, something like that. So, Jay, who do you want to put some stars on to just have on our radar?
So basically, you're looking at, hopefully ETN if he's there, Stevenson if he's there, but it's looking like we're going to have to probably take Najee. The way the ADP shakes out, he's mid-4th right now, but after him at running back, the next closest one, you got to go all the way down to basically Jahmyr Gibbs because you have a bunch of quarterbacks, a bunch of receivers. If Najee's available, we're probably going to have to take him. I'm praying that someone ahead of Stevenson falls, but if not, we may have to reach on Najee a little bit. And then I was looking at potentially Amari Cooper as an option, but we may have to take another receiver there just the way it's shaking out right now. Would you guys be interested at all in taking Mike Williams and hope that Keenan Allen leaves?
Not in the third round. No way. No way.
Well, we'll
Not
see
in
what
the
falls,
third.
right? You got Cooper, Hopkins, Ridley kind of in that range, or DJ Moore if you think he can take a step forward in Chicago.
Nah.
I mean, Hopkins.
That's kind of what's tough.
I
Hopkins
think
going to be on a new team, right? Which is good.
Amari
most
Cooper would be an option just because it gives us a
worried about Elijah Moore?
No.
No. Amari Cooper's gone. Amari Cooper's gone.
Just went. Yep.
Okay.
Amari Cooper's gone.
Which is fine. We need the running backs to fall for us because we got none.
Breece Hall.
So if he's there, yeah. If Breece is, way higher in my ranks. But yeah,
right.
if Breece is there, definitely.
Derrick Henry went. Jay, can you see the board? Can y'all see? Because I've got some guys started.
Kind of, yeah.
Do I need to make it bigger for you? Does this help?
That's a little better, yeah, for sure.
Okay. We got 6 picks, Jay. ETN, Ramondre, Najee, Breece on the board. Hopkins, DJ Moore, and Mike Williams starred for receivers. Let's just filter by running backs and see what we have. It's half PPR, right? Nick Chubb is good in half PPR.
Yep. Nick Chubb, ETN, Ramondre I think would be great. Pierce is an option. I would probably take Najee over Pierce personally.
I'm not touching Pierce. 67 ADP. He's 56 rounder. Can't do it.
So how many more slots we got? We got a couple more running backs still that I like.
Yeah, ETN is. If ETN falls, that's a smash.
If ETN's there, yep, easy. And then do we want to go another running back, or would you rather take a Hopkins, Moore, or Williams?
What you
I'd
got,
consider
Scott?
Hopkins there.
No, I was gonna say, what's your thoughts on a guy like Hopkins? Maybe we can wait till Jay's picks if it comes up quick. But what's your thoughts on Hopkins in terms of as soon as you know where he's going, his ADP is either going to spike or it's going to fall. It's going to be one or the other.
Scott, I can't imagine it falling, right? Like, I feel like there's some projection in him going up, right? Going to another situation. But again, if he wants to play on a contender, contenders have good receivers. That's the problem, right? They got good receivers. So I don't hate the pick. And like Ray said, do I like him over DJ Moore and Mike Williams potentially? Yeah, I kind of do.
What
Right?
about
For what
Debo?
he could be.
What about Debo?
I'm not a Debo guy. Not a Debo guy.
We got one. Hopkins just went, so there's that.
So we pray
boy.
Ramondre is still there.
And when you're picking at the turn, you're always going to be. And Ramondre is gone. You really want to reach for Najee right here.
Well, look at who's available though. You don't have many more guys with the ceiling of Najee in this range. That's why I think you have to take Najee.
What is Najee's ceiling, Jay?
There is none.
We need Pickett to take a step forward, but do you want Dalvin Cook in his situation?
You got to make the pick. You want Najee or Debo?
Yeah, I want Najee. You're talking me out of Najee. I want Najee. I don't want Debo.
We'll let it auto. That's a little trick on Underdog. Just let it auto if you know who you want. All right, Jay, we took Najee here. You're up. You should know.
I'm going to take DJ Moore. I think that they're going to take a step forward, and because Hopkins isn't there, I'm going to bet on the talent that is DJ Moore, Mr. 1,400 yards, Mr. 8 touchdowns last season, Ray. Give me some DJ Moore.
Man, I personally would have taken Deebo Samuel over DJ Moore. Scott, talk about Jay Rich picks. Talk about his picks as you formulate yours.
I mean, he had to take a running back, and it just shook out that it did at this spot. This is a learning lesson for. We probably could have done the same build, but if we were in the 8 or 9 spot, the running backs would have been a little more plentiful for him to choose from. But I don't mind the DJ Moore pick because I think it opens up avenues where we're not necessarily locked into Jared Goff and Jimmy G either.
Okay.
It gives you another option at quarterback. Now it's going to be the next round. It's probably not going to happen, but yeah, there you go.
Gone. Fields gone.
So if you did this again, would you have considered Fields, DJ Moore if we wouldn't have gone 2 receivers to start, Jay?
Yeah, I think so. If we had a running back earlier, have more stability there, I think you definitely could make the case that would have been a good build for sure.
All right, Dynasty Barry said star Deshaun Watson. So we're going to put Watson. We're going to put a star on Watson there. Scott, you got 2 picks coming up. What are your thoughts about tight end in a format like this? And when we're looking at and it's when you take a look at tight end on the scoring matrix, I mean, this is, I should freeze cell B so we could scoot over. But I mean, once you get to tight end, inside of tight end 5 through 8 versus 9 through 12 versus 13 through 16, it's just, I don't know, Scott. Like, I've been fading tight end in all of these things, man. In all of these things. We got 15 picks. Where are you kind of thinking about heading next as we see Mark Andrews come off of the board here in the Andrews and Hockenson little run on tight ends?
Yeah, I think if you're going to do early drafts with 3 tight end builds, it's better to do them now because I think there's a lot of tight ends that are mispriced that people just don't have on the radar yet. And then, boom, something happens and all of a sudden they're getting drafted at the end. So I'm good just pushing tight end aside and going with the 3 tight ends. That's going to tighten up, though, I think, as you get closer to the season. You're going to kind of know where the tight end landscape sits with a lot of the guys that are not like true full-time starters. Like there's a bunch of teams right now where you're like, man, this could be the starter or this guy could be the one I want later on. Mm-hmm. It's going to tighten up. So I'm more likely to take shots now because there's some tight ends in the 20s and 30s that are – I'm sitting there going, why can't that tight end finish in the top 15 or better? Yet he's going at tight end 28, tight end 30. So I think this is the time to take those shots with 3 tight end builds.
Let me just ask you your thoughts on Debo, Scott.
I don't like Debo. I would have taken DJ Moore over Debo.
All right, there it is. 2 against 1. All right, let's get your queue built up, Connor. So we got our quarterback starred. We're not even thinking about touching any of them at this stage of the process? Who do we need to get on the old queue for you?
I would definitely put a couple of those running backs up there just by default if they somehow fall to us. Probably not Javonte Williams, but the top three, they won't fall to us. But if so, I would probably take one of those.
Is there any reason why you would draft Javonte Williams in a format like this?
No, because I think he just continues to fall over the summer. There's going to be a point where it's like, okay, he's going 2 rounds later than he is, and then you might start adding them. But it just feels like he's going to continue to fall and fall. I don't see anything positive happening for Javonte. Dobbins, I would throw in there. Dobbins is one that I'm probably higher on than the consensus, so you can throw him in there too because we're going to need to take a couple running backs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, look at his ADP. He's going almost 10 spots higher than Dobbins.
Man,
Rookies are so tough right now.
Looking at running back efficiency, Dobbins has been extremely good. It's just a matter of health. I don't even care. I don't even honestly care about his volume either. I care more about his Lamar's situation. I care more about the offense being good. That's really the only risk. If you told me they're going to be in a typical Baltimore offense that's healthy, I'm all in on Dobbins.
Do you have any interest in JMO here if we could get him and really go after Goff a little bit early and have like a full Lion stack?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at just efficiency offense, that's one of the ones on the screen that I would consider. I mean, it's hard for me to take on someone like Marquise Brown or Treylon Burks. Like, I almost just skip over those guys because there's going to be I think they're going to fall too if there's not really any buzz with the offense. So you can almost skip over half the ones on the screen right now. I think Bateman's interesting. That's one that will rise if you get clarity with the Lamar situation. Yeah.
All right, let's prioritize them, Scott. You got 4 picks, and you've got 3 running backs that you wanted to highlight. We got J-Mo, but we've got Amon-Ra. We've got Bateman, much lower ADP, so probably a little too early to pull the trigger on him. But maybe. I mean, they're 3 picks away, and there's 3 running backs. So go ahead and start telling me how you want me to order these guys for you. Uh-oh.
Man. Yeah, there goes Aaron Jones. I was going to say Aaron Jones, so we may not it may have to be a Dobbins reach if we want to hit the roster bill we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's some interesting running backs a little bit later, though, that I think I can hold off on doing that. So I think I'm definitely in on J-Mo if he's there. That's the first pick.
All right, we'll move J-Mo up. No concern about having 2 Lions?
All right, it's a hyper-efficient offense. No. Lock J-Mo in, and we'll talk through the second pick.
Well, we got him up here. Strategy, just let it click off. Just let it run down while you think about your next one. Every second counts in these drafts, so just move them up the queue, let it run down. Who would you want to target after J-Mo? So we got 4 quality best ball receivers. Would you want to go the reach on Dobbins because he's not coming back?
My only concern is, and maybe not for this one because we're just really looking at like this individual team. It's not like we're mass entering this contest. But if I was doing this and I knew I was going to be doing, 2 drafts a day for a month, like I wouldn't be taking Dobbins at this point. I would wait till I'm in one of those slots that's closer to get him because we talked about this a lot.
Well, who do you want? We got 10 seconds. Dobbins
but we're going Dobbins here just for the pick. But I'm just saying if we were doing a ton of entries, I wouldn't take Dobbins here because there's going to be other drafts where, I'm picking in 4 slots before this or after this where I'd get him right there. So
yeah. All right, well, let's talk through our roster right now. Jay Rich, how you feeling about Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, and Jameson Williams? I don't hate it.
I kind of like it. I think there's a lot of, potential ceiling with this team, right? Obviously, like you mentioned, having J-Mo and Amon-Ra could hurt us a little bit, but I also think they do things so differently that, there may be weeks where they do both go off. So I don't necessarily hate it either. We definitely have to prioritize Goff. I mean, that should go without saying. We would definitely want to make that happen, but is there a secondary stack outside of Jimmy G that we could get? It's not really looking that way because now Fields is gone, but I still like the build, man. I think there's a lot of guys that we could take here, and I still think fading tight end is the wave, so I'm not going to be looking at that at all. Ooh, Addison. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about Addison, Ray.
I haven't been taking a lot of rookie wide receivers right now. Not not in the big board contest without knowing their landing spots or capital right now. That's just it's a little too much risk for me to assume, especially when they're going around. Like, give me Rashad Bateman over Jordan Addison today. We're talking about, and I'm not talking no dynasty. I'm talking about for a seasonal format. I would take Bateman over Addison or a lot of these rookie wide receivers that we don't know where they're going to land, what their opportunity is going to look like. I like Scott. What are your thoughts right now in this format? Start 8, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, 1 tight end. How we feeling about this in best ball, and when do we need to pull the trigger on? Well, we don't need to pull the trigger on Garoppolo for a while, but I don't want to miss out on Goff.
Doesn't it feel like if you're fading the receiver class for Dynasty as at a large, you're probably not interested in them in early drafts and Underdog where they're going? Because it feels like even relative to the player pool, they go higher in these drafts than even like if you did a Dynasty startup, Like people view the rookie receivers outside of probably JSN as inferior this year, yet it's weird to see where they go off the board here.
Yeah.
It's hard to take them, man. Like, I'm not taking Jordan Addison over Brandon Cooks. Like, it's just not happening, right?
No.
And
I take the ones people don't want.
Yeah. And that's where, when we get to the bottom of the board, right, all of us with our extensive Dynasty knowledge and watching the tape and stuff, we can pick out some guys where we think the value is quite there. But, you look at Rashad Penny. Would you guys consider Rashad Penny at any point soon-ish, right? Because his ADP's up 15 slots in the last week, right? He's been rising from 170, Ray, all the way up to 112 now. But, you still have guys like Charbonnet ahead of him. You have guys like Khalil Herbert ahead of him. I don't think either of us are taking Khalil Herbert right now on Chicago. Rashad White. Would you consider James Cook at the next turn? How do you feel about Damian Harris landing there? Because his ADP is skyrocketing on Underdog too. But maybe if he slips to us...
This is wild. How's Javonte Williams ADP 76? And this dude's probably not going to be ready to play the start of the season. And even if he is, it's probably going to look a lot like what we saw from Dobbins last year where he's eased in. I can't do it. Like, this is just way too high for me. But Jay, we're 9 picks away, so you need to start building out your queue. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Talk to your co-manager. What do y'all want to do?
I mean, I'm looking at Cooks right now.
I see that Joe Mixon floating in there. Joe Mixon
Oh,
in there
no.
too.
Joe Mixon.
All right, let's get Joe Mixon in queue.
Okay.
Let's get him in there.
You're making the
Can
picks.
We get Cam Akers in there too?
We're not taking DeAndre Swift, guys, too, right?
No, we're not taking Swift.
We can't. Okay,
can't take Montgomery. Those guys, unfortunately, got
Swift. We can get rid of Swift.
Somebody just hit Javonte Williams right there at 76. Had the ADP drafter right there. Just go down the board and
they're just spiting us right now.
Yeah,
they'll
ADP.
be wrong.
Yeah, 6 picks away. You got Pierce. If Pierce falls, that's a steal. I mean,
honestly, Pierce. Remember last time we took Akers? I really like the value of him there. I think that's pretty solid. Because what pick are we at right now, Ray? Can you see it?
We're at pick 78 right now currently.
Okay, that's not bad.
78.
So yeah, we should see.
What about Pacheco?
Ray, I don't know, man.
Pierce
I still think he's
gone.
a between the 20s grinder.
Look at Cooks' 80. Cooks in the 7th.
Cooks is rising, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand when you see these ADPs, they are not reflective yet of the market. He is still rising. Ray, do you have any interest in Cortland Sutton? He's right around Cooks' ADP as well.
Not over Bateman, no.
You're that in on Bateman, eh? Okay.
Who else?
And I'm assuming you wouldn't take Juju. Well, they got Mark Andrews to throw to, right? We already have Dobbins.
These are your picks, man. Get them ready. You got 2 picks away, so you need, and Bateman's off the board.
So is James Cook still there? Because I still would like James Cook if he's still there.
James Cook is there. You want to take James Cook?
I would take James Cook, yeah.
I love how Ray said that.
Ray doesn't like James Cook, man. You got to call your shot. You got to take James Cook.
Why are we taking? Okay, all right.
Respect.
So would you? I mean, who else is available?
Not
would
me.
You take Sutton? Show me the receivers.
No, I would not.
Yeah. See, you're not taking. Would you take Jacoby Myers?
No, we got Adams. Why would I want that?
Because you're trying to stack, my man. You're trying to stack.
No, I would not. I would probably take. You take who you want, but you got 21 seconds to do it. So where are we going?
This is tough.
Give me Pacheco. This is a pick where I would take Montgomery if I didn't have Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that's a really bad spot to already have a Lions stack because there's no use of taking one of those Lions running backs there. That's the biggest problem. Is I think that would be the pick. I think I see the most upside of those guys for sure. Where are you guys at with Kamara? Because I just can't take him, not knowing what his suspension is going to be.
I mean, picture this. Let's say he gets 6 games. Where does he land? You know what I mean? I don't think it goes. I don't think it goes that far down.
No, doesn't go
Yeah,
that far down.
But is he near that low if he gets the 6 games? Because even last year he wasn't very good, and he still has to compete with Jamal Williams, who probably will be good.
What did Kamara do last year? Let's look up all Kamara on our sheet. Where's he going, in the 8th round? Where's Kamara at? There's James Cook. I see what you're doing. You're on here. Pacheco. Where's Kamara, Jay? You're on here. He's
a little bit lower. He is
9th round.
103.
You were ready to take him. Kamara 13.4. This is what, last 2 years based on this scoring?
Yeah, well, he was really bad last year, so he's actually bumped up a little bit from the year before scoring. Slightly.
40%.
Yeah, he was not good.
40% of his games were floor weeks and 26 spike. So, all right, Scott, we're 17 picks away, and we still have Jared Goff there. It's going to be right around ADP when we'll
have to take Goff for sure.
Okay. Goff is.
Yeah, he's got to be a pick.
Daniel Jones is gone, and now as we look at it for the ADP Warriors, let's see, Tua's ahead of them, Trey Lance, Kirk Cousins. I think we got a good shot to get Goff, but who's their tight end? They don't even have a tight end. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about the tight end manager taking Jared Goff. So we got to start on Goff. Looking at our roster, Scott, we got 4 running backs, 4 receivers. How I've been building them early is about 5 running backs, 5 or 6 backs, and then I'm like 8, 9 receivers, 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends or something like that. How would you want to build this out? Because our receiver room is solid. I really like the receiver room. And the running back room for a half PPR format is not bad. I mean, Pittsburgh's O-line isn't very good, but Najee should get plenty of work. Dobbins, who knows? James Cook, who knows? Pacheco, who knows? What would you want to do with these next 2 picks? And
I definitely want to hear more about Jay Rich's half PPR James Cook pick. But yeah, I think we definitely need to get – if we go one more running back, we're probably done. If we take one here versus a receiver.
All right.
So for me, it really just comes down to is even though it's half PPR, I think if he's going to be the goal line back and he can get that work –
the goal line back is Josh Allen. The goal line back is Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's still going to get his touchdowns. But if James Cook can factor into that role and they actually utilize the 2nd-round draft pick that they have, all they did was bring in Damian Harris, and Damian Harris is probably going to get hurt like he does every single year. And then it's him and Nyheim Hines. I think James Cook can easily win that role if he does get the majority of the touches like we hope he is. Obviously, it's projection, but that's why he's down in the 9th round, right? He's not drafted higher. Again, the pick would have been Montgomery because I believe the volume and touchdown upside is there, but having a Lions stack already can't really go that direction, just wouldn't see the upside. So going after a good offense in Pacheco and James Cook was kind of where my head was at with those picks.
Ray, I've been seeing Charbonnet creep into some 2nd rounds of mocks, early 3rds, late 2nds. I know you've been big on, you just haven't seen it, but I mean, that if there's a home run pick I see on the screen right there, that's the name that keeps sticking out to me.
All right, we'll put him up there with Goff. I'm slightly nervous. I'm hoping we get Goff. We should. And Charbonnet's gone. Charbonnet off the board. So you've got to build out somebody else. Did you want A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson?
B-Rob. The volume should be there.
See, I feel like at this point there's enough rookies and there's enough guys like Leonard Fournette, those types that'll linger, that I don't think we need to take. Why take a B-Rob or why take an A.J. Dillon right now? Let's look receiver.
All right, here we go.
Any possible back end stacks you can see, Jay? If we miss out on Garoppolo?
Ooh, based on what we have now, man.
Allen Lazard.
Yeah.
Lazard. Okay.
All right,
Would
Scott.
you want to take like a Corey Davis?
Well, hold on. What? Jay, stop. All right, we're up. Jared Goff. You want to take Jared Goff right here, Scott? We're not going to get him.
Yeah.
We're not going to get him coming back. So the
Yeah,
real
we're taking
question.
Goff.
All right, so we got him lined up at the top of the queue. We're not taking Garoppolo. So the real question is, DPJ. We've already missed out on Watson, Tyler Boyd, Josh Palmer, Lazard. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but potentially an Aaron Rodgers. Right? Where do you want to go right here? KJ Osborne.
Oh man, I'm looking at the receivers. I'm almost wondering if we've kind of hit the wall at receiver, and do we just take guaranteed touches at running back? Jay, shake your head if you like that.
We could.
Hurry up, Jay.
We could.
B-Rob or A.J. Dillon?
B-Rob.
Let's do it.
All right, we just took him. So we went Jared Goff
and
at 9-12.
We're done at running back now.
Okay, I'm with you.
Probably done at running back.
So let's take a look at our construction. 1 quarterback, 5 running backs, 4 receivers, 0 tight ends. Our quarterback is Jared Goff. Our running backs, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson. Wow. All right. Wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, and Jamison Williams. Now, let's do this. Let's take a look at the board. Looking back at this is where I struggle with double tapping receiver early. Wouldn't we feel a lot better if instead of Amon-Ra, this was Bijan Robinson and you still got a DJ Moore and Jamison Williams? Or Austin Eckler? Or, why? Like, it just, I don't know. What are your thoughts looking at the board, Scott? Like, what should have happened? Or was that the right play, going Adams and Amon-Ra?
I mean, it's hard to say it's the right play, but I think if you're on the turn, it's hard to not go receiver. Now, people can argue whether we would have taken a different one. We could have gone, I wish I would have taken maybe Jalen Waddle instead of Amon-Ra St. Brown or Garrett Wilson, just because we ran into that difficulty with the Lions stack later. You know, if we had Montgomery on this team instead of James Cook, I would have felt a lot better about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess that's a learning lesson for just how things line up. You know, we could have easily substituted. I think if we would have put Waddle in there or Garrett Wilson in there, you know, especially Garrett Wilson, we'd have a shot at a stack instead of waiting on Jared Goff. We would have had a shot at another stack potentially and had better options at running back. But I think it's hard not to go receiver.
Really? Period, or irrespective of the draft slot, or is it just because we were picking at the turn? You wouldn't have wanted, so you're still out on Bijan at 13.
Man. Yeah,
you know?
I don't think I'd take him at 12 or 13. No, I mean, how much higher can he honestly go? If Austin Eckler's going where he is, you know,
that Eckler value, Ray, insane.
Look at that 6-hole: Kelsey, Eckler, Hall.
Yep,
they got Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence. Nice little stack right there later on.
I like that build.
It's not a bad build. All right, let's go back to the board. Well, go ahead, Scott, while we move back to the board.
I was going to say that picking in the middle in these early drafts, though, you don't necessarily have to commit to the strategy up front. Like, as soon as we went receiver, like, we're hoping the board falls a certain way. Versus if you're picking in the 5, 6, 7 slot, you're kind of just sitting there. You have time to study the board, you know? You can easily pivot throughout the draft versus, you know, if you double tap on the end, or even if you just go conservative and you go receiver, running back, you're kind of just going, okay, well, I'm going to have to follow my script instead of sitting in the middle and see what happens with the board.
Who did the Raiders just sign as their tight end? Who they just bring in?
O.J. Howard? Was
O.J. Howard and Austin Hooper both.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Nice.
Who's
throwing it back to 2018? I like it.
Is Jay Rich up?
You know what the funny thing, though, is
right now?
Austin Hooper is one of those tight ends that will not get picked. But easily you could go, he ended up finishing top 20, you know, top 18, and had a couple spike weeks. And no one will draft them.
All right, Jay Rich, we're 6 picks away. What are we doing?
What wide receivers are we looking at? Oh, Ray.
Don't you dare.
My guy right there. He's
we're not taking Rashid Shaheed. We are not doing it right now.
He's just sitting there, just waiting for me to take him.
Got Alec Pierce, Romeo Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs. You know, he just feels like
build your board. Okay, I commentate. You build your board out. Who do you want me to star?
Let me see who's available. We got Renfro, Shakur. Oh, you know I like Khalil Shakur too. Scroll down a little bit. Would I take Josh Downs? I know
Come
you're a big
on.
Terrace Marshall guy.
We gotta go.
Miko.
Star him. We got.
You could start Terrace Marshall. You know I don't like him.
I tell him this every time. You got to build your board out. Let's go, build it
Throw
out.
Nico
build the
Collins
board,
in there
but
too, Ray.
Thank you.
Not Nico Collins.
Not
go.
here. Not here.
Yes.
Not here. Just throw him in.
Wandale Robinson is interesting, but he's hurt. He's hurt though. That's the problem. He's hurt.
We're not looking at running backs. Do you want to look
Would
at
you
tight
take
ends?
Zeke, Ray? No, I'm not taking
Dude,
tight
we're
end.
not. No. Jay Rich, Zeke.
How many picks I got?
Bro, you got 2 picks.
Ray,
man.
to be honest, man, I think that Terrace Marshall's got the highest ceiling of everyone on this list. And I'm considering him.
You want to reach 30 picks for Terrace Marshall.
I'm just giving you the commentary here. I can't see the ADP because it's just a little blurry on my end.
Come on, man. You can see the damn screen.
Jay, do you like Alec Pierce if they end up getting like Bryce Young?
No, not really.
Who do we pick, Jay Rich? Who do you want? You want Terrace Marshall
Give
right
me
here?
Josh Downs. No, I want Josh Downs. Give me Josh Downs. He's going to be a second round pick. He could
Who
easily
else?
work into that offense.
You double tap. No commentary. Get your picks, man.
Where's Shakir's ADP? I want Shakir. Is he too
Bro,
high here?
Like 200.
Give me Shakir. See,
Wow.
then give me Alec Pierce. Then, if you're going to be like that, give me
No,
Alec
it's
Pierce
your
then.
draft.
It's your draft. You want Alec?
What does it
want,
say? What's his ADP? 170. Oh, that's too low. That's too low. Give me Shahid because he's going to be great.
Dude,
Give
you
me
gotta
Shahid.
get
He's going
to
to
the
be great.
picks. It's
I
over.
can't see anything, man. I can't see anything. I keep
got
telling
Shakir
you
over
it's too
Shahid.
small. I can't see it.
Got
I can't
Shakir over
see it.
Shahid, Jay.
Good Lord, man.
Can't see
Good
it.
Lord.
I wanted to take Shahid. Ray's like, oh, you can't take him here.
Dude, you're
It's too early.
getting annihilated in the chat. Dude, you can't
It
commentate.
happens, man. It happens.
Jay.
I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to build the roster. I'm trying to help Scott win $1 million here. I got you talking in my ear.
This
Scott's
is an
very nice. He lets me go through my process. The people, I can't hear them. I just ignore them. I just block.
Let's mute him for a second. Absolute waste of 2 picks. Wasted 2 picks right there. Just, this is a donation draft. So, Scott, you're up. How do you want to build this thing out? Just absolute insanity to even suggest Khalil Shakir here. 40 spots ahead of ADP. Let's go. All right, Scott, what do you want to do?
And to boot, we already have James Cook, so we're betting on like the peripherals on the Bills.
All right, Scott, where are we at? This is this is an interesting build right here.
I mean, Nico Collins is a smash if he's there. He's
Okay.
good chance he won. But you know what? We reached on another receiver, so maybe it'll push Nico Collins down to us.
That even
1 or 2 slots.
they're laughing at
Just
us
call your
right
shot,
now.
Scott. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Tune him out. Just.
I can
draft with
almost
your heart,
guarantee.
Scott.
I can
Draft with
almost
your heart.
guarantee you, we are the only people in 100 and something thousand drafters of Underdog that took Khalil Shakir in the 11th round or wherever he went.
We will search after this. This will be the highest selected spot for Khalil Shakir.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed we set history tonight. Wow. I would have taken Alec Pierce. I would have. Let's just look at tight end. All right, Scott. It's you know.
I mean, would you have gone like how many tight ends over Khalil Shakir?
Yeah, I would have taken quite a few. Give me Dolce. I would have just taken a shot. But we've got him on our team. We got rookie wide receiver Josh Downs and praying for a 3rd option or 5th option in Buffalo's offense in Khalil Shakir. So, Scott, save us. Come on, baby. Where are we going?
I mean, I do feel like we have to make up for the Shakir pick and add a couple more receivers.
Oh,
here.
come on,
So
Scott. Come on.
No, and you know what? If we end up getting Nico Collins and Alec Pierce or Shahid, then you know what? We just switch the spots. Your ADP looks like it was 24 picks later, Jay. You're in good shape then.
There we go.
All right.
All right, who else do you want to add? Slayton. What's your thoughts on Claypool this year, Connor?
I mean, doesn't it feel like Claypool has gotten way, way too much hate over the top to where it's like, nah, people just think he's terrible? Like, he's not terrible. Am I super excited about him? Not. We also have DJ
good.
Moore, so I'm not excited about two Bears receivers.
Yeah, yuck.
So you can remove him from the queue. But I don't mind. I wouldn't mind Claypool as like wide receiver 6 or 7 on a couple teams, just not where I already have DJ Moore.
Talk to me about MVS with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm okay with MVS. That's one of those other guys when you look at their usage. Like he looked a little bit better than probably what we treat him in fantasy. So I'm good with MVS. I mean, this is another learning lesson for, putting the teams together the way that we are. Like there's going to be some profit to be had in this range with receiver because they're all gross, like you're not looking at any of them going like, all right, I expect X, Y, or Z.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess trust the efficiency of the offense. That's why it makes me a little nervous with someone like Terrace Marshall, just because he's almost undoubtedly going to have a rookie quarterback. Whereas, I mean, I'm a little more confident in even MVS, even though we've kind of seen what he is.
And I'm just going to ask the question, too early for Garoppolo, and we're up next, and Alec Pierce may still be there, Scott. We might get Alec Pierce.
Go to the quarterbacks real quick.
Do we have to reach on Garoppolo?
I don't think we have to reach on him, but that's the problem on being on the end. All it takes is a couple people to take a quarterback, and then it's just they're unloading.
We could always draft Will Levis.
Who's first, Nico or Garoppolo, or Shaheed?
Let's go Shaheed. Let's go Nico and Shaheed.
You want to go those two?
Yep, let's do it.
And I'm not gonna press the button on Nico yet. I just want you to think through Garoppolo, who's got a little higher ADP than Nico. We've got 5 receivers. Well, 4.
Yeah, it's a big gamble to get Garoppolo coming back to us.
Like, are you sure you want to do that? Because Garoppolo and Adams could make up for some of the picks. Do you want to go Garoppolo here?
Rip it. Go Jimmy G.
At least we walk out of here with our stacks.
Where did Stroud go? Because FF Lefty actually did say Marshall Stroud stack.
See, I'd rather have I'd rather have Nico Collins over Marshall. Not even close.
Yeah, I'm with you. Stroud is still there, but I mean, we don't know where he's going to land. He's a Panther, and we spent the first round pick on Adams. Give me his quarterback. I think that's important, right?
For sure.
Irrespective of ADP, the fact that we have Goff with Jameson and Amon-Ra, and now we have Garoppolo with Adams, I don't even care about the ADP number slot. I feel better. Like, I'm taking Garoppolo over Tajay Spears. I just saw, who was it that just came off the board? Kyler Murray came off of the board in the 13th. Like, I'm not touching Kyler Murray in this format. Right now, our roster is 2-5-7-0. 2-5-7-0.
I mean, it isn't Kyler Murray one of those where you just look at you look where he's going, and it probably is either just going to stay there, if not fall a little bit. Like, yeah. I just don't see where in 2 months we're going, okay, Kyler's going 2 or 3 rounds later, unless there's something positive. But I hope this team wins. If
this team even gets in the money, I'm done. I quit. I will turn over Destination Debbie to Jordan Richards, and I'm out. Bookmark it. He's got it. I mean,
do you guys want to target the Detroit tight ends? Would be either Brock Wright or James Mitchell, like late?
They're undrafted, so we don't even have to. We could literally put them in the star, and they'll be there. They have no ADP. No one's touching them.
Austin Hooper.
Hooper or Howard? Which one would you pick?
Well, Hooper, because we get
Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper over Howard for sure. We'll star Hooper, and he's got an ADP of 240, so he'll be there. He'll be there in the last round. Trey McBride, I know we don't have a stack, but tight end 1 in Arizona. Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant. I don't really want to touch rookie tight ends personally, but I'm not drafting this team. This is y'all's squad, so where are we at? We've got 12 picks. Who's up? Is it Jay Rich?
Yeah, I'd be up next.
All right, Jay. What position? Let's build your queue out.
Go star Kendre Miller for me.
Look at you. Thank you.
Shout out Cody, because Cody pointed out him earlier.
All right, Cody Carpentier. Shout out player profiler. Cody, my dog.
Yes, sir.
Who else we doing?
Is Paris Campbell available?
All right, look at you. Now you're talking. All right, Paris Campbell is available. Curtis Samuel is available.
Okay. Curtis Samuel can be starred.
Just put him on. Just put him on the list, right?
Would you consider Slayton here, or is it still too early? His ADP is down at 201, so probably still a little early. Would you consider Robert Woods, Ray?
At this point, ADP
I know you want
means
Nico.
nothing.
I know you want Nico, but could Woods be better than Nico this season?
Well, Scott, what do you think about Woods?
That's not even close. I'm going Nico. Okay. I'm picking between the two.
What about John?
Wow. Nico,
okay.
Nico's good. Nico had a really,
wow.
really good year relative to. I mean, what are we looking at?
Shot Tim Patrick is relevant. Is he even available?
It's a good question.
He's available. He's available.
He is available. Scott doesn't sound enthused.
Him and kind of assume...
He just got picked. Jimbo just took him.
Picked?
Yeah, Jimbo's in the goddamn chat. He's watching.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, he's a 30-year-old receiver coming off a torn ACL. Like, what's the difference between him and Robert Woods?
Somebody said Renfro for the double stack.
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know if Renfro's on the Raiders by the time they start the season.
That's a good point.
They're not trading Jimmy Slot. All right, Jay, you got seven picks. Do you want to look at tight ends? These are your picks, Jordan.
Is there any world where Isaiah McKenzie could fill in for Paris Campbell and actually be pretty good this year? Is there any world, Ray? That's all I'm asking. Is there any world?
So you took Khalil Shakir, and now you're doubling down on the guy you replaced.
Jay,
I'm just asking the question, Ray. You always say I'm just asking the question. Paris Campbell was pretty good last year. Wow. All right. No love for old Isaiah McKenzie. Guy gets cut. All of a sudden he's dead. I mean, he is, I'm pretty sure, the player who's dropping the most in ADP is Keyshawn Boutte. But next is Isaiah McKenzie. But he just got signed, so he's going back up again.
You got 4 picks.
So I would take Paris Campbell, and I would probably take Kendre Miller with my next 2 picks.
I like the Kendre
assuming
pick.
They're both available.
Okay, let's look. Kendre, maybe. We're 2 picks away. We got Fournette still out there, Jalen Warren, Gus Edwards, Jerick McKinnon, Tank Bigsby.
Nah, it's still Kendre. Still Kendre.
Kendre's gone. Kendre was selected.
No.
Ooh.
Roshan?
Sniped.
Do you want some Roshan?
So who are the running backs? We got Fournette, Patterson, Carter, Warren,
Hubbard, Roshan, Bigsby. Paris Campbell, gone. Jay Rich is in hell right now. Isaiah McKenzie.
McKenzie is still available. Let's go. Okay, so show me the problem is again, because all my guys got sniped apparently.
Jay, Roshan, Bigsby, Fournette, Hubbard, Edwards, McKinnon, 8 seconds.
Fournette has to get a job. Give me Fournette. He has to get a job.
I was going to say, as soon as he goes somewhere, his ADP is going to go up.
All right.
And then receiver.
All right, you got 10 seconds. McCole.
Give me Robert Woods.
Okay.
Give me Robert. We didn't get Nico, right?
Nope, we did not get Nico.
See, sorry, Scott. We couldn't get Nico, but we will get Robert Woods. You're welcome.
Okay. All right.
You're welcome.
There it is. Robert Woods. All right. After the selections of Sir Richards, we have 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 receivers, and no tight ends. Quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo. Running backs, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Leonard Fournette. I'm fine with the running backs. Wide receiver, Adams, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Jamison Williams, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, and Bobby Trees. No tight ends. Scott, who we need to get in queue? I like Roshan. I think Roshan would have been, I probably would have double tapped running back there.
Take him and Fournette?
Yeah, probably, but this is y'all's team. Scott, what do you want to do? What do you want to start right here? We got a couple of picks left in this draft. How do you want to finish this thing out? Probably need to take a tight end soon, right? We have none. Or you just like F it.
That's what we're finishing out.
Okay, cool. What do you want to do?
I think that's what we're probably having to finish out with.
Any
go to the tight ends?
Any interest in Sam Howell, Mac Jones, Desmond Ridder, Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis?
What about Levis?
We'll star him as a QB3.
Man.
We'll star him. We'll star him.
Projected to Vegas a lot too, and I think that's his worst case scenario, right? For us, maybe if he ended up in Vegas.
All right, here goes your tight ends, Scott. Got a bunch of rookies. Mayer, Kincaid. We've got Likely, Hurst, Higbee, Washington, Musgrave, Hunter Henry, which we could, if we took Hunter Henry, Mac Jones is still available. So I'm just going to put him there. I'm just putting him there. I know it is Wolf, but you've got options, right? So I'm just putting the stack there. You got Mac and Hunter Henry. And if you
Throw
did
Fant in there too.
Okay, I'll throw Fant in there. Where's Noah Fant? Let's get the wide
Do you
receivers.
trust Henry over Gesicki this year?
Well, here's all I'm
If
going
you're picking one?
Well,
Throw
here's
Gesicki in there too.
Gesicki's gone. He's long gone.
No, he's there.
No, he's there. He's there. Okay.
He's rising right now. Wow.
If we do that, who else does New England have at receiver like that you can get in the 20th? I'm just putting them on there.
Thornton's gone, right?
I'm just putting Tyquan should be there. Let's see. Tyquan.
He was in the 170s, I think.
Bro, Tyquan's still there.
I mean, there's.
No, he's drafted.
He's drafted.
Yeah.
What do you think? Double New England tight end. Bill.
One of them should be good every game, you'd think. But limiting the upside a little bit there.
It's just dirty as shit. The thing is, if we went Gesicki, Scott, if you went Gesicki and Mac, there's no doubt in my mind that Hunter Henry would be there in the 20th. No doubt.
Oh,
he's always there in the 20th. But
that's what I'm saying. Is that a back end tri stack that we could throw together at this point in the draft and roll with that? We're gonna probably have to go with 3 tight ends. So I don't hate it because you can get Hunter Henry in the last round. You could probably get Austin Hooper, and we can get Austin Hooper in the last round.
We could.
Hooper, Henry, Gesicki stack with Mac Jones. Boom.
God.
What about Roshan? Do you have any interest in Roshan? I continue to talk about him. He's not going to be there in 12 picks.
I mean, what are we fading? A third quarterback or a third tight end in this case? If we're taking Roshan,
probably need to fade probably the third quarterback. But are you confident going in with just Goff and Garoppolo? I mean, I'm kind of fine with it. They're not going to get replaced.
We're expecting Goff to be our QB1, right?
I'll just say, as far as people watching this, Trey McBride in the 16th, I love it. He is my highest rostered player in Underdog right now. They have nobody else to throw to. It's literally Trey McBride and Greg Dortch and Rondell Moore and No DeAndre and Hollywood. Like I think he's got a lot of upside. The problem with McBride is there is no quarterback stack right now. So, Mac Jones is gone. Jimbo, damn Jimbo.
Jimbo's watching the stream, man, taking all our picks.
Oh my gosh. Stream sniping. Yeah, Justin, big time. Scott, you got 7 picks. Tell me how you want to load this up.
There goes that grandiose idea of the...
Well, there we go. Now we don't have to... Now we could probably remove Hunter Henry from the board and Gesicki.
Gotcha, Jimbo.
Yeah. That was a landmine we planted. Maven said Jimmy G's going to get hurt, get another quarterback.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I think we'd all probably pick Levis, right?
I mean, we're at the point now where he's probably the one that... The problem with Levis is you don't know how many starts you're going to get from him.
Is there any world where the Colts trade down and Minshew starts?
All right, well, Scott's got we got 2 picks. Scott, Noah Fant.
Well, I definitely think we go Noah Fant, but what are we committing to, Jay? Are we committing to a third quarterback? Because if we're going to want to pick them, we probably should decide now because that's going to affect my second pick.
Noah Fant gone. Noah Fant gone.
So we might as well go third quarterback unless there's a tight end you like here.
Unless you want to take Gesicki and then plan on taking our second tight end with Hunter Henry later, then
we could do that.
Embrace the Mac Jones efficiency potential.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Good.
No Isaiah Likely, no Hayden Hurst starting tight end for the Panthers.
No, I'm good with Hayden Hurst.
Okay, all right.
It'd probably be because Gesicki will be one of my picks.
All right.
Gesicki's definitely one of the picks.
Okay, I'm going to move him up to the top while you think we got 20 seconds we really got about 30 seconds to figure out. We got Gesicki, and this is way after his ADP, and what a steal for Roshan at pick 200. Would you want to go Likely? Would you want to go another tight end, or do you want to go another direction?
I mean, we're going to need another tight end, so it's just going to depend on what else we want to do, what else would be available.
You got 20 seconds.
What position you thinking here, Jay? Do you want to take another quarterback?
I think we wait and just see what falls, and then we decide. I would probably go tight end here. Ray, Jake Ferg?
It's all Scott.
Yeah, man. You know what? I never do this because I'll have no exposure anyway. So go with Isaiah Likely. Why not?
We went Will Levis. It was an executive call. It was too late. It was 1 second left, and we were about to auto draft Austin Hooper. So
look at the smile on Scott's face.
That's fine.
We went Will Levis.
Pro day tomorrow. Gonna light it up.
We took a Kentucky player over Isaiah Likely, so that's fine.
You're okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so we've got our third quarterback.
I'm good at tight end there. Yeah, that's fine.
So now we got a double on tight ends, or we only have one pick left?
Yeah, 1920. You both round us out. So Jay, give me a pick. Scott, give me a pick. And just so you know, our roster is 3, 6, 8, and 1. So I think we
got to get 2 tight ends.
Both had to, yes. And Dynasty Barry said we had to take a quarterback there. He was like, take the quarterback, take the quarterback. So what tight ends do y'all want? I think Scott is okay with Hooper. Are you fine with if Jimbo snipes Hooper? I'm gonna ban him from the.
If you want Hooper, I think taking the New England stack of tight end is actually not a bad strategy when it's this late.
No.
If
Really?
we got Henry,
but we don't have Mac Jones.
But the theory isn't that we want. I mean, even if we had Mac Jones, I think it's just one of them is probably going to be good every week. The problem with Jonnu and Hunter Henry was you didn't know who was going to be good each week, and often both of them weren't very good. But I think if you were to bet on them throwing the ball more to the tight ends, you'd probably bet on Henry or Gesicki having a good week, like a startable.
Timeout. Can I give y'all a dart throw second year player who could be tethered to maybe Will Levis and Indy at tight end?
Jelani Woods.
Jelani Woods.
Now you're just betting on Levis's landing spot though.
That's what. And Hunter Henry's gone. Hunter Henry is gone. You've got
Did Jimbo take him.
Yep.
Jimbo took him. I'm gonna load him up. You got Cade Otton, Luke Musgrave, Austin Hooper, Jake Ferguson, Jelani Woods.
People are loving themselves some Jake Ferguson, man. He's
and I'm
skyrocketing up.
And I'm terrified Dallas drafts a damn tight end. That's about what we've got. These are probably. I don't think any of us have any interest in Zach Ertz coming off of major knee surgery. Bellinger just got nuked by Darren Waller.
Yep.
You know, what do you want to
do
right
to
here?
How do you feel about Musgrave here?
Dynasty Barry said Brock Wright.
See, that's not terrible.
We got 10 picks. Y'all order them. This is what we've got. This is what we got.
Well, we can't take Brock Wright and Austin Hooper. Talk about rounding out a terrible draft. Save one of those turds for another draft.
Oh, I like Jelani.
Ray, I think you can make the case for Otton, Ray, and you've talked about it before, how there's just, if anyone in Tampa gets targets, he could be an option. Again,
well,
Musgrave,
he's the starting tight end, right? He's the starting tight end, right?
Starting tight end to Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Great. Brock Wright, at least we have a stack there. Hooper, praying that he's the receiving tight end. It's not O.J. Howard.
I think it's going to be Hooper. And Jimmy Garoppolo likes to feed the tight end. We've seen that throughout his career. He will feed the tight end. I mean, at this point, we're in gross territory.
I think I'm fine with Otton and Hooper.
I mean, when you're building like this, the bad tight ends are best stacked, almost always. So I know there's probably 5 tight ends I would say I like over Austin Hooper, but the fact is we have Jimmy G. It's like that justifies enough right there to make him one of our picks. Now, if you want to go Woods or Otton or Musgrave with the other one, you can pick, Jay.
So you're saying, Scott, Austin Hooper is one of the picks?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think with this build, Austin Hooper would be one that I would be willing to take in this build.
I'm actually fine with it. I'm actually fine. I see a lot of people saying Jelani. Got it. Jelani. Dynasty Barry said Hooper and Jelani. So Scott's made the Hooper pick.
All right. We can go Jelani.
Nope. I want Jay Rich to round it out.
Jelani.
I want Jay Rich to take that Irv Smith. Yeah,
Jay likes builds.
Give me some options. Give me some options here. Is Tommy Tremble available? I see him there.
You think You thinking Quentin
Should
Morris
we
here?
bet? Ray, should we bet on the Darren Waller injury and take Daniel Bellinger? No, you're not feeling that one. Okay. How about Sam?
Hold on,
Laporta?
Scott said
Third round
ooh.
diamond.
Scott said ooh.
Scott, Daniel
Here's
Bellinger.
the thing. Here's the
I mean,
thing. Let me just say this.
I think you could justify Jelani Woods over Bellinger if you're going that
Same.
route. But
He's got a chance to be the starting tight end, which is
Jelani
what
Woods
nukes Bellinger.
is getting a quarterback upgrade. Like, we know this. So Austin Hooper was selected. Jay Rich, all the pressure's on you. Woods.
Yeah, let's take Jelani Woods. I like touchdown upside with him too. Good pick. Good pick, chat. Good pick. I like it.
look
And
at that
that's-
tight end.
Look at that tight end room right there. I mean, two Raz
This
guys,
team's
so
gonna make it.
that should make Scott happy. And I don't think Austin Hooper was a high Raz guy, but
Definitely wasn't.
let's look at our projected points on this team. 29, 23, and it doesn't factor in rookie projected points, so we're right around probably the 300 cup. Downs is not in there. Yeah, we're over 3,000 projected. Our build, 3 quarterbacks. As far as construction, I like the number of assets that we have. I like 3 quarterbacks. I'm fine. I don't want any more than 6 running backs when you only got to start 2. And, well, you want the optimal flex. You want a running back in there. 6 running backs is fine. 8 receivers, I like that, and 3 tight ends. So I like the build. But let's just talk through the team. Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is not Dynasty, seasonal league. Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Will Levis, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Leonard Fournette, wide receivers Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, J-Mo, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, Robert Woods, and then our tight ends are Mike Gesicki, Austin Hooper, and Jelani Woods. Scott Connor, you are the guest of the hour. What do you think about this team that you guys have drafted?
Well, I'll just say this. This is the first time drafting one with another person and another person doing the picks on stream. It definitely can jump up with you on the picks in terms of, like, we're sitting here, Jay and I are trying to hash out who to take, and a couple of times Ray's like, I'm just hitting the button because otherwise we're gonna talk through the pick.
I only did it once. It was executive order to take Will Levis right there. But other than that, you guys drafted this team. I had no say in anything besides the Will Levis pick at 205. I just want to look at the board, and again, it's the
second half of our receiver room. It could literally be zeros.
Let's look at it. You're talking about Downs, Shakir, Rashid, and Woods. Yeah. Like, that's not. I don't like it at all.
I mean, we're hoping. I know Jay said Josh Downs could go in the early second, late first. Like, we're praying for that just to save. I mean, I guess Shaheed could be okay too, but
I think Shaheed would be fine for the 4.
Got some big playability, right, with some of those guys.
I'm just as we think strategy moving forward. I know that everybody is enamored with the wide receivers on Underdog right now, but man, I don't like it, man. I don't like this team when you go those receivers that early. Like, I just don't like it, y'all. I don't like it.
It's tough.
I don't like it. I feel better about my rosters. Let's just pick one. Let's just randomly pick one, right? Let's just go back.
Well, Ray, let me ask you:
complete it.
Would you have felt better if we went? Would you have felt better if we went Bijan Eckler?
Like,
Would you have felt better about building it if you went the complete opposite?
Well, I mean, look at this team. Like, I just feel better about, like, okay, I got Fields, Carr, Taylor, Eckler, Sanders, Algier. I still got DJ Moore with the stack. Ayuk, Juju, Hollywood. There's that Nico. I got Khalil, but I took him at pick 181. I got Shakir right there. Isaiah Hodgins. Tight ends, Kmet, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Luke Musgrave. The stack with Derek Carr. Like, Brock Purdy, I got him in the last pick, right? To stack with Ayuk if he's back. I feel better about teams so far early when I go running back early. It just makes me feel better.
Yep.
in this format. And I just randomly pick one. It just feels better to me. Let's just randomly pick another one where, again, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Dalvin. Look at this one. I got Fields and Carr again. I picked Will Levis just like we did, but I got Taylor, Bijan, Dalvin Cook. We got B-Rob, Gainwell, Hubbard. I still was able to get DJ Moore, Godwin, Hollywood, Bateman, Juju, Claypool, Paris, Allen Robinson, Jelani Woods. Picked him late. Gerald Everett, Juwan Johnson. Doing these, I just feel much better taking a running back, building through running backs early, even though everyone's saying go receiver, go receiver. I don't know, man. It's tough. I'm struggling with it, Scott.
No, I like that first team you showed where you went RB. It's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah,
that's definitely a learning thing from picking from this the back end of the first, picking in the 11 or 12 spot, because everyone's going to take at least a receiver there. If not, I mean, look at the last 3 teams in this draft, all went receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or all went double tapped receivers. And then look at their running backs. There's probably not a running back room you feel good about all the way down.
They got Swift, Penny, Gibson, Harris, Foreman, Akers. It's just gross, right? It's just the passing on tight end doesn't even bother me in this type of format. No. It's not having receivers and running backs. That's the problem. So we're going to continue to do these literally every week. We're going to do these every week. Myself and Jay Rich. Scott is more than welcome to come on anytime to just, this is practice too. This is practice for Best Ball Mania in the summer, which we will, as a collective Destination Devy conglomerate, max enter that contest. We will have every single entry done. There will be some J Rich only teams. There will be some Ray G teams. There'll be some Scott teams, but we are going to max enter that one. So this is good practice for the big deal over the summer. But this is a big board live stream number 2. So there's our roster. Let us know what you think. Let us know about J Rich's picks. And Jimbo said $1.99, and we got to do it because Jimbo was in there. He wants us to rate his team. Can we just look at Jimbo's real quick and see what let's take a look at Jimbo's squad. Let's go to Jimbo. Where's Jimbo at? He picked out of the 103 spot. And Jimbo, I'm gonna just tell you, I have yet to see Jonathan Taylor go this. Jay Rich, you have no business talking about anybody reaching tonight. All right, you have no business. All right, he's got Jonathan Taylor. Can I just click his team? Let's just go to look at his team. It's easier like this. All right, let's look at Jimbo's team. Right, he went 3, 6, 8, and 3. So the exact same build as us. Let me get our banner off of the screen so we could see a little bit better. Lamar, Russ, and Mack are his quarterbacks. Running backs, JT, James Conner, Kenneth Gainwell. So he went stud and serviceable in duds, right? Gainwell, P. Ryan, J. Rob, and Elaire. Receivers, he went DK, Amari, Pittman, Sutton, MT, Gallup, Marshall, and Tim Patrick. So he doubled up on the stack with Denver Broncos, Lamar, Russ, and Mack. And then his tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry, and Cade Otton. Connor, what do you think about this squad?
I mean, I like the real late Hunter Henry, Mac Jones stack for how he built his team. I mean, I definitely like that. I mean, I don't know. He said rate it B+, B+, better than our team, no doubt. Not even close. And he had definitely a couple of the players we were talking about that he sniped from us while listening to the stream. So you got to give him kudos for that. If you can watch your opponent's draft and literally listen to what they're saying, like, take advantage of it, steal from them.
Let me ask you, any fear that Lamar Jackson's not even available for his team come week 17?
Come week 17,
I mean, yeah, you could look at,
of course.
Yeah, you could look at his running backs and his quarterback room and go, like, I could quickly go south. But at the same time, you've seen he's got 2 players in Jonathan Taylor and Lamar that could also be, the best player at their position.
Could pay off early if he gets some early work.
I think this is I think it's a C. I think it's a C.
Okay.
I think it's a C. I just
are you wary of Lamar right now, Ray? Drafting him at all?
On Thursday, March 23rd, absolutely. And I just want to see who he could have gotten instead of Lamar. So here he is at pick 51. I mean, Justin Herbert, I would have felt better about that, or Deshaun Watson.
Sure.
Today, this is not anything with Dynasty, but today, I'm probably not going to touch Lamar in one of these drafts until his situation is a little more secure, because I can definitely see a world where the Ravens play around with Lamar, they F around and find out, and he tweaks that ankle week 12 and is like, I'm good. I'm not putting myself on the line for y'all.
Yeah. Well, and he's a quarterback. Like, realistically, even if he were to come back tomorrow and be like, all right, I'm re-signing with the Ravens, how high is he actually going to go? Like, there, he's going to be...
wouldn't go up.
It wouldn't... I mean, maybe he goes in the 4th, but I think it would be one of those... It's a preferred beverage wherever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think you're not really getting a lot of value, I guess, is my point of taking him there. So,
yeah. All right, there it is. Did a draft, hung out with y'all for over an hour. Appreciate everybody being in the building. Hit the thumbs up button, like, and subscribe, and make sure you're tapped into everything Destination Devy. There's a link in the description. Free newsletter drops tomorrow morning. So much information in there. Scott's on our podcast feed. Me and Jay Rich have a show every freaking morning, Monday, Wednesday, in the off season. Wake Up with Ray G, and we will be doing this every week. So make sure you come draft with us next Thursday. We love y'all. We are out. Peace.